Hi everyone. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020. I'm humbly Anna Anders here, sitting in my bedroom with this little fire going on this fall day. And my other half is sitting here with me. Carrie, you're sitting here, right, hon?
Yes, Tehismana Hekpa.
Tehismana Hekpa DENET. Okay, from First Mesa Palaka, my so beautiful other half. So we're sitting here already this morning, and the first thing we get up and we start talking about is what, Carrie? Culture and politics, right, hon?
Yes.
Culture and politics, talking about Hopi, talking about my bloodlines, which is Arawak and Taino, and I was told by my dad, and I'm one of 5 children with my mother and father, and I look more like my father's side, which is the indigenous island tribal people. But anyhow, we're not going to talk about that. I want to talk about something here today, bringing it fast forward to 2020 here. People, I want you to know something. I want you to know that the people that did 9/11, the people that are behind all these scams and all these false flag narratives through MSM, Main Street Media, that's what MSM stands for, in case you don't know. Not trying to be disrespectful, just trying to help here, because I didn't know once upon a time. But anyways, the people that did 9/11, the people that occupied that Middle East and booted and looted and shooted up that Middle East, these people go back, way back in history. And these are the same people that organized and colonized this country and stole from the indigenous tribal people and are still stealing. And when I say that present day, they're stealing their emotions. They're playing with their lives. They're playing with their sacred energies. And what I'm speaking about here, and I want to speak to this, is this. These people will show up like a circus in any town in evening gowns, or, you know, or act like clowns even. From evening gowns to clowns, will show up and talk to you like the snake oil man from long ago. And I'm going to tell you, it's not right. It's not right to deceive and to be deceptive with people. And I can see through all of this because I'm humbly Anna Anders on this YouTube channel, and trust me, my father raised me to look with eyes of an eagle, and I can see right through it all. And they're playing both sides. They control both arms of this nation's politics. And I'm sorry, folks, I don't care how many magazines you're written into. I don't care how many books or how many looks or pics or selfies or whatever you get with these people. You better be careful, and you better take a back seat. And the reason I'm saying this to you so sincerely is because if you look at the recent staged events, number one, the initial debate took place in corrupt Cleveland, Ohio. And corrupt Cleveland, Ohio has been infested with the naughty Illuminati, deep state, Zog Dog ones for a long time, and I can prove it, and I don't need to get into a lengthy video about that here. I've already done my homework and my research, and many other people have too. And while I'm saying this, I'm going to throw a name out there if you don't believe me. Check out James Corbett, thecorbettreport.com, James Corbett YouTube channel, or his online website of the Corbett Report. Now, what I want to say next is, yeah, we've all been so in-depthly lied to all along here, and all of a sudden you think they're going to walk out of that White House. I don't care if it's Biden, and I don't care if it's Trump. You think they're going to walk out and start being a straight shooter, speaking facts and truth to us? It's not going to happen, folks. So I'm going to tell you, you had better harness up your emotions that are being played with. You had better get grounded for you and your families, because they are doing massive media manipulation. And so, yeah, the debate started in corrupt Illuminati Cleveland with Biden and Trump, and I found some things with that, which was off-kilter and funny to me. I mean, why didn't the media interview the locals that, number one, attended that debate? They didn't do it. And so it was kind of like a little media blackout. But now their next tactic was to say that Trump was going to go to Flagstaff. All of a sudden, Trump's trip got canceled because he developed COVID. And he chose to be in the hospital in and out 4 days, and he was done. Well, I got to tell you, I got a friend recently that had COVID, went to California on a trip, and Ended up a long time on a ventilator and everything else. And I'm going to tell you, these games and these, it's really sick what's happening out here and what's manifesting. And I'm going to tell you something else. I have gone to a couple funerals. Is that true, Carrie?
Yes.
So I've been to a couple funerals for this situation, and I'm telling you, none of this is, how do I say this? None of this is funny at all to me, but what I'm going to say is there's consequences for wearing a mask and not keeping good oral hygiene. Death can happen and manifest quite rapidly. So, my next comment that I want to make here is back to this election stuff. So we had Trump coming to Flagstaff, Arizona, but they canceled it because of his COVID. Then his son showed up. Okay, so his son showed up, but, you know, it's a divisive political propaganda tactic to say that he showed up just for the natives. I mean, come on, people. If you can't read between those lines, I don't know what's wrong with you. But the other move that they're making now, supposedly Trump is coming to Prescott, Arizona. Well, folks, what I want to say, what's special about Prescott, Arizona? It's heavy-duty, naughty, Illuminati, Zog, dog-infested political arena. Hey, who lives there? Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney on that ranch. So, the hidden hands of the Illuminati ones, they move fast forward here in 2020. But I gotta tell you, it's all out in plain sight. Kind of like on the day of 9/11. No planes, no jet fuel brought down those two towers. Have Trump talk about that. Ask Trump's son about those questions. When the Trumps start talking truth about 9/11 and Benghazi and all of it, all of the cover-ups and all these pedophile rings, then you're going to get some political truth. Until then, I would be holding them off with a long arm and not trusting them emotionally and spiritually. So my suggestion is to have some boundaries for your families and to burn cedar and to be protective emotionally. What do you think, Care?
Not only cedar, sage, sweetgrass. Gear up realistically on your meditation and prayer strengths. Have them going always.
So keep the prayers going, folks, because our families are going to need it. Our families are going to need it because if they pulled out COVID in 2020 here, what do you think is next for 2021? Honestly. So I'm going to say, put your focus on your family. Keep your faith for yourselves in the way that you believe. Nobody's trying to tell you, we're not saving anybody here in terms, we don't want to recruit anybody or save anybody spiritually. You know, we're all on our own in our individual personhoods and families and livelihood. We believe in the way that we believe. Carrie and I happen to believe in Sacred Creator, and we prefer the indigenous ways of believing because, look at, Hopi was here way before Christ times, okay? So the history of its own culture speaks for itself. And so, yeah, I am not, and I've had plenty of experiences with these churches and stuff, and I will tell you, it's not been good. The experiences that I've had with them, I will tell you, has revealed a lot. So much so that it showed me that I don't want to participate in the naughty Illuminati hidden hands agendas. And Carrie just said in perversion too. And there is a lot of that. I know a Methodist church in Flagstaff, Arizona that had some weird shit going on that I used to attend. Down there at the base of the Sacred Peaks. I left that church. I did not stay in that church. As a matter of fact, I confronted those people in that church, and they know that too. So I'm humbly Anna Anders on this YouTube channel. Do you want to add anything to this?
There's already factual alternative news of that perversion coming through the popes of France and the nuns, and specifically Catholics and Catholic churches, that they've been organizers of a lot of dividing of families across this world.
For a long time, ever since the establishment of the Catholic churches everywhere, and right behind the churches, if you take a peek, there was always like an orphanage saying that they were saving children. And I know, I just wrote about this, I can tell you that my family was directly affected by it because my grandfather had 38 children. I think it was 38. Anyways, I can't keep count, but what I want to say is a lot of the kids ended up in orphanages across the country here in Boys Town, Nebraska. So, and that hurt. That hurt the whole sacred family tree division of that story and situation. But the corrupt Catholic Church has always used these situations as corrupt tools to manifest their corruption and pedophilia, as Carrie was talking about. Anything else we should talk about, hon? And the Catholic Church is in control of the politics, too. Think about this, people. You go to church every Sunday, you put money in the basket. The money is what's controlling a lot of these narratives, a lot of these agendas. And if the Catholic Church was such a good, how do I say this? Please help me, God. If the Catholic Church was such a good humanitarian outfit, I mean, take all the money and take all this land that you own and house the homeless. Do something for the homeless for once. I mean, why do we even have a homeless issue? I don't want to hear it. And I don't want to hear that we need to help the homeless vets. No, we need to help the homeless humans everywhere. Whether you're a vet or a peace activist or just a human being just thrown away. How about that? House every human. Okay? And quit the political division agendas. I mean, I could make a phone call to a local community establishment right away. They want to know, are you a vet? Well, no, I'm not a vet. I'm a peace activist. Does that bring any benefits? No, it doesn't. And they shut me down real quick. But if you're a vet and you've been to another country and you've helped to boot and loot and shoot up the planet, you get rewards. You get free meals on Veterans Day, and you get, you know, all this stuff ongoing. It's just a bunch of, political corruption is what it is. And I need to shut this down.
Just one more thing. Please investigate and research to stay away from any popping up parent planhood, because it coincides with
eugenics
through
Bill Gates' father.
Yes, and then also through its being backed by another evil one named Kamala Harris.
Okay. So Kamala Harris is Joe Biden's running mate.
Being a parrot for the wrong agendas, of course.
So which is Planned Parenthood, which Planned Parenthood has ties to eugenics. And folks, what I just learned about too, I don't know if you know this, when we talk about human trafficking, this is so disgusting, but I'll share it here. Carrie knows because I think I just sent her something about it. But what I want to say about Planned Parenthood, when they do these abortions, what they do is they do human trafficking of body parts from the tissues of the babies that are aborted. None of these women know what happened to their babies that are aborted. Not, you know, it's just, it's so sickening. And what I want to know...
Yeah, it's been going on decades with our mothers to grandmothers, back. All along this nation.
Right. And
so we need to...
confront the issues. We need to confront
be advocates for our newborns, our grandkids.
Right. And we need to be, you know, and if people, and I'm going to tell you something, if you take a peek at the calendars, the 12-month Gregorian calendars that you have hanging in your homes, if you take a peek at all 12 months, you're going to see certain holidays are within those 12 months. And I'm going to tell you, those holidays that are put into those calendars are specifically detailed for the naughty Illuminati agendas. So you're going to find some weird shit. So, for example, recently I learned that October was Pastor Appreciation Month. I also learned that October is Pro-Life Month. And I'm going to tell you, what is October also indicative of? It is also Halloween, trick or treat bad treatment of human and humanity. So, and what
Holly weirdos, yeah.
And Holly weirdos, like Carrie said.
All their parading going on.
And all their Holly weird agendas.
And all them billionaire and trillionaire corrupt ones make money off of that every which way.
Okay, so they're making money off of these calendar events that are staged every month. And the only people that benefit is corrupt Wall Street from these agendas. You can go through the calendar and look at it for yourself. But what I want to say, getting back to the month of October specifically, I think, why didn't they put Appreciate Pastor Month in December? Okay, that's when Jesus was born. If you're a pastor, you know, it's all about Jesus, supposedly. So that's what I want to say about that. The other thing is, if you're Catholic, why didn't they put pro-life movement into the month of December when Jesus was born? Okay, so that's that. And there's a third one I wanted to make a reference to, but it's kind of slipping my memory here. But
notice how they're popping around, hopping around like an Easter bunny, Ishtar.
Yeah, well, that Easter and Ishtar, Easter celebration goes back to Ishtar, like you said, Carrie.
Yeah, but they also talk about life and chickens, eggs.
And reproduction. And reproduction. Yeah. That's what that's about, too. Reproduction.
Resurrection of, there you go.
Their agendas.
Jesus Christ again.
I believe it's the resurrection of their agendas, though, too. That's what they mean by that. So anyways, guys, we said way too damn much in this video. And while we're ending on the topic of life, let's end this one out and throw this one out to you, too. So I'm Anna Anders on the YouTube channel, and Carrie Joy DeNet's my other half here, So Sacred One. And I got to tell you, I want to give a shout out to James Corbett. He will bring you up to date, fast speed with your families to tell you what the hell's really going on with the 411, political and otherwise, political, economically, even with the scamdemic of COVID-19. And I will tell you that they did a practice drill a practice drill, I think it was in October 2019. And it was called Event 201. Event 201. Research that for you and your families. You're going to find out. They were way ahead of this ball game. They just sped it up in 2020 and dropped the bomb on us. So, and Bill Gates is a eugenics son. His father was a eugenics man. And Bill Gates is just following footsteps with his I'm sorry to say it, but his creepy family line is what I want to say. So these guys are all in bed together. Bill Gates and Fauci are friends. Bill Gates funded Fauci, and Carrie, would you take a shot if they offered it to you?
Hell no.
Okay, so there you go. And I'm Anna Anders, and
you shouldn't let your babies and children either.
Right, exactly. Oh, that's what I wanted to close with, because we were talking about Easter and humanity and life. What I want to say is I want to throw a shout out. I want to throw a shout out to Dr. Judy Mikovits. Research who she is, because she worked with Fauci in those laboratories. She's a virologist and biologist. DrJudyMikovits.com, and see what Dr. Judy Mikovits has to say about the other end of this COVID-19 story, because it's not a pandemic, it's a planned-demic. And so that's the name of that tune. You want to add any more, hon?
So don't get distracted or protracted. Do your homework. Really watch all those videos all the way through. You know. And stay with what's really going on in this world today.
Yeah, stay up to date, guys. Moment. Stay up to date, because they like to, they like to take their puppets and drag them across this nation and set up a stage and give them a mouthpiece, give them a microphone to talk to us and stuff, and take pictures and selfie shots and all that wonderful stuff.
Don't be a sucker and be a sellout for all these, because once they find out your carrot, they're going to pour it down on you like rain.
They're going to dangle the carrots in front of your face.
Already they're, spreading and spraying chemtrails, all the galore this past many decades already.
So Carrie's talking about weather warfare right now, guys. And I'm going to tell you something. Weaponized weather warfare. I'm going to tell you, there's a guy from Strongsville, Ohio here. He's a friend of mine on Facebook, literally. His name is Keith T. King. That's his specialty. He loves exposing the weaponized weather warfare. Never mind the words climate change. Those are Agenda 21's words that were perfectly chosen, just like they chose the word conspiracy. Because every time you want to meet an